Hey there, guys. Just doing a check-in. Haven't made any or taped any videos. We know I can't make content, so I have to steal other people's, which I don't steal it. I ask them, unless it's from the enemy, or I shouldn't even call them the enemy. They're just deceived people too, you know. But yeah, I mean, I can. I was watching a little bit of Casey Enter the Stars, man. That cat just gets some trippy stuff. Yeah, I don't know how he does it. Days of Noah rocks. I dig Vincent Rhodes, man. He cracks me up. And Hulk, Spiritual Logic. Yeah, I can't. I'm just not a content creator, no matter how hard I try. So, but that's all right, is what it is. But yeah, I don't want to take. Well, people are making a living at it. Not that they're. What do you call them? Oh boy, I forget what they call them. It matters not. Not that they're doing it for money, but they make. That's what they do. They put full time. 60 hours into it. So 60, 80 hours. By the way, I'm working. I'm a dishwasher. So got that. That's been keeping me kind of busy. I'm an old man, so washing dishes kicks my butt. Let me tell you. But it's good. It's good. So yeah, you know, what could I say that isn't already being said by another channel? So basically, just check in to see how everybody's holding up, man. I don't think anybody has nailed down what this agenda is. I don't think anybody has. I think AI is running this whole thing, and it's just moving at an alarming rate, as we know. What direction is it going to go? Now, by looking into Theosophists and what they're saying, and these, of course, they call them ascended masters. We call them fallen angels, if you're a Bible believer, and they're well, one of the requirements before their world teacher, their Messiah, our Antichrist, being Bible believers, before he comes on the scene, which is expected 2025, but it wasn't in concrete. This was written in late 40s, I believe. It was Alice Bailey's externalization of the hierarchy and return of the Christ. Now you got to remember, these people, they'll use the Bible when it suits them, and then they twist it, and you know. But so 2025, the world has to be as one. So before he comes, but again, none of this is in stone. They say that these fallen angels will often create situations, turmoil, what we're seeing now, in order to move towards the agenda, which we know that we've been seeing it. We've been seeing it for years. So it's just hard to tell. Now, I suspect everybody we're seeing in power right now, in government and all the actors, musicians, all that satanic stuff that we're seeing, which is really happening. But I suspect they're all going to get thrown under the bus for this new world leader, this new world teacher. So we'll just have to wait and see. I was gonna put together a video on stuff to, if you have to bug out. See, I of course I have bug out stuff, but I feel terrible having to do that and leave people like my mom. I can't just leave my mom, You can't just leave an old lady, and then if I didn't have my mom, well, what about somebody else's mom? You can't just. Of course, my mom's totally into all this. She buys into it hook, line, and sinker. But just like everybody else who has, I think everybody's getting burnt out on it. It's just, come on. So, who knows what direction they're going to take it. But yeah, I was going to go over, because if you do have to say, who knows the situation or the scenarios, who knows how it's going to go, but most likely there'll be roadblocks, right? You're not going to drive. So if you're on foot, backpack, you're not going to be packing ammo boxes and AKs, So I have a pellet rifle, good pellet rifle, wrist rockets, because, it seems I'm a hunter, or I was a hunter. I haven't hunted in a couple years, but, yeah, you kill a deer, but, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how well that's going to work. A bow, have a recurve bow, some arrows, and then one sidearm, and that's it, because you can only carry so much, Garden seeds, some food, real light stuff, top ramens, and, warm clothes, things like that. Bleach, water filters. Mothballs are good if you're in bear country, So what little food you do have, you're going to want to keep them bears and other critters away. Also, another thing I keep in my pack is mouse and rat traps. I know it sounds disgusting, but, just a little piece of peanut butter on there, It's a big trade-off in protein. Plus, if they're coming into your stuff, so that's, But who knows how it's gonna go? It's been brought up, breakaway societies. I don't see them allowing that. I don't see them allowing that at all. But what do I know? Maybe it'd be temporary. Who knows? I mean, it is. Ultimately, it's what God's going to allow, right? What our Father's going to allow. And that's, I still struggle with it, man. I don't have none of these cool testimonies. I listen to them over and over, and I'm thinking, why, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Yeah, I haven't really been digging into the Word lately. I kind of lost interest. I pray still, but not really like I was trying to. It's kind of like if you're trying to, say you're trying to get with a gal or a guy, right? And they show no interest in you. You give up, right? Yes, well, all right. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to truck with the enemy, but I don't know. Kind of frustrating, to tell you the truth, especially when I see all these cool testimonies, and I believe these people. I believe them. That's another thing. You see these channels, man, they're all these visions, and the Lord spoke to me, and they have like pages of stuff the Lord told them. I don't know. I mean, who am I to, but I just don't know. especially a lot of these visions. People eat it up. If you want a channel to grow, if you have a channel, you just put vision from the Lord. Boom. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying these people are, it's just, man, you get a lot of views. Or Mark of the Beast. You put Mark of the Beast. That's what everybody's looking for, That's what they're seeking. Now, I think a lot of these people who are hearing from the Lord, possibly, I'm not questioning them. I'm not naming names of anybody, but it just possibly we know from targeted individuals. We know from Dr. James Giordano on weaponized neuroscience what they're capable of doing. It's very easy for them to make us hear voices, make us see visions. Very easy for them. So they could be doing that. It's possible. I don't know. I could just only speak for myself. I don't hear anything. I guess that's a blessing there too. I'm not, Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice, and the others they won't go to. So I know the enemy. I know the enemy's out there. So anyways, those are things to think about, Probably, I'm in a motorhome now, and I'm going to start just looking for a room to rent somewhere close by. And then a lot of my gear and bunch of, canned food and stuff that I stored up, a ton of it. I'll just stash somewhere. Plan B spot, Plan C spot, just stash it. Yeah. I mean, you're giving up plans, but there's not a person listening to us. It's all AI. It's all everything's lining up. They have this new task force. Whatever they want to do, they're gonna do it. There's nothing to worry about with that. And then we're loaded with nanotech, man. That's why I like this scripture here. I know it's New Living Translation. I guess a lot of people are King James only. I'm so new. I could barely this has to work for me right now. Actually, I read the New King James when I read, but this really does some strange days, guys. Strange, man. Yeah, we're loaded with nanotech. It's all in our food. What is the oh boy, the black see, I tell you, it's been a long day. Well, whatever's in a pencil. So that stuff, it's all in our food. They're spraying it on us. It's just crazy. I mean, there's nowhere to go. That's why I don't see breakaway society. Okay, we're not going to spray this zone. They're breaking away from us. Just don't see it. And as far as like if you're bugging out and if you're going to use a rifle and get a deer or whatever, I'm sure they have sensors every so many miles that'll pick up anything like that. But, who knows? They got drones, they've got little robot dogs, I think you could overthink that stuff and just live your life. And maybe, I guess, to those of you who have the gospel, man, that's the thing to focus on is I don't know. I am struggling with that. Total belief, but again, no wonderful testimony, no, oh man, I felt them, and nothing like that. Oh, of course, I still strive to please them. I mean, when my actions, I think, is this something that's going to upset them, you know. And not necessarily because I'm scared of going to the bad place, although I am. I mean, who wouldn't be? But I don't try not to worry about that either. I mean, I pray we got it wrong on the bad place. I don't want to see anybody go there. You know, except for these creatures. But man, that sounds like a horrible place. Forever? Man, sounds terrible. So yeah, you know, just moving forward. It's very hard to plan for a life right now, isn't it? Very hard, because you just don't know. Everything's moving so darn fast. That's why I think just get into a room and hunker down and keep working, trying to work on a relationship with him. And he's not making it easy on me, that's for sure. He's not at all. Again, I shared that I found a good church, and they are. I mean, they're pretty darn hip to a lot of stuff, and they're good. The men in there are pretty good, godly men. You know, they're really true to it. So that's a good thing. So I do that church, and they have a study group Sunday night. It's like a potluck, so everybody shows up, or it's a group. About a dozen people show up, different houses. So I got a group that I show up to, and then they just do a study. It's neat. It's pretty neat. They're good people. But yeah, I mean, how do you guys plan for any of this? You know, some of you are situated better. You may have a little small piece of property or something, but again, you could still because we have no idea what direction they're going to take this. We only know that it's moving incredibly fast and it's going in directions. So the only thing I could think of is just getting grounded, you know, in the Word, a relationship with Him. But it's not easy for me. And then helping others with it, and yeah. I mean, end days, man. We're smack dab in them. End days, and I'm assuming Peter was speaking of us, huh? Or was this Paul that wrote this to Peter? See, that tells you how much I know. I think this was Peter. I love the stories. That's I mean, how could you not love Christ? You know, when Peter loved him so much, man. When they were in the boat, they were 100 yards off the shore, and Peter recognized it was Jesus after resurrection. Just dives in and starts swimming. You know, I mean, that's cool. And I love the doubting Thomas. You know, when I'll believe it when I see the holes in his hands, and Jesus shows up. Boom. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. And I love how he gave I forget who he gave the nicknames to, but he called them Sons of Thunder. Man, the creator of everything nicknamed you, and it's a cool nickname. Sons of Thunder. That rocks. That rocks. So anyways, man, I just figured I'd check in. I was going to put one together trying to, I think with the juice at this point, people are burnt out. They've either taken it or they haven't, and I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. But I think, as far as trying to help people see don't take it, I don't know if that's really that important at this point because they've either taken it or and even people who've taken it are kind of like, yeah, I'm not getting no boosters. So, I know an older couple, they said they got both of but they aren't going to get the boosters. And I don't believe it is the mark of the beast myself. I don't think it's good. I think it does, alter your DNA. But, there's probably other ways they could alter it too, which they may be altering ours right now. I don't know. But I think the mark is close. I do. I just don't see that as it. It's just not good. And I highly recommend, I beg you, don't take it if you haven't taken it. And I ain't taking it for no other reason than I'm stubborn. And I don't want it. And I ain't taking it. So that's it. Enough said. If they want to hold my life over my head, well, fine. That's fine with me. But so yeah, I don't see it as being. It just cracks me up. These people. Well, it doesn't even crack me up. It's horrific. These people who they're so Christian and they're giddy about it. That all these people have taken it. Oh well, they just don't have the Holy Spirit in them. They're just not spirit filled. And you are, huh? I tell you. Maybe I'm wrong and it is. Maybe I'm wrong and it is. I sure pray not. I sure pray not, man. But anyways, yeah, I think AI is running this whole thing. And it's probably way more bizarre than we could ever imagine. So, but yeah, what was I going to say? I was going to put together one showing all the wicked stuff that they, and again, I can't get my head right to figure out how to do it. Things like, well, here, I'll show you guys. 1 second. Let's see, where are we? Okay, guys, so this is what I was thinking. I just heated up some coffee real quick. So this happened, I think, early 2000s. Era DuPont. And DuPont fortune, guy's worth billions, if not trillion. So he raped his 3-year-old daughter, guys. I'll leave the link in there. He didn't fondle her, which is bad enough. I mean, that's still raped her. He physically inserted his, my God, right? 6'4", roughly 300 pounds, a somewhat gentle person. So his lawyer argued he wouldn't fare well in jail. The judge apparently agreed. He walked away a free man. He paid a fine of under $5,000. Promised to attend a high-end treatment in Massachusetts. Right? So, stuff like that. These are, obviously he's not holding any position, in our government, but these are the people that they're all like this, right? and you're trusting these people, with the juice and other stuff. Just absolutely terrible. So, and we'll come back to this. So yeah, I was gonna put one together. There's that one guy, the banker. He was a banker. Um, I forget what country he's from, like a Scandinavian. Um, and he talked about working his way up, and when he got to a certain level, the requirement was child sacrifice. And you could tell this guy was not lying. He's definitely speaking the truth. Um, I don't think they don't care about letting them live because they know their agenda is going to go through, or they think it will. Which, if we go by the Bible, it will for a period. But again, I don't know if the rug's going to get pulled out. And I don't know. These exposed video. Again, I mean, what could I say that isn't already being said? I think it's just good to keep in touch with like-minded folks and bounce ideas off each other, I guess. Support each other. Um, and as far as helping people see, I get, yeah, I think it is important. It definitely is, and I try to be strategic about it. Like Facebook, I got kicked off, and next door kicked off. Anything that you share now on a CV, they just kick you off or suspend you, and so. But I got back on both of them. I haven't really shared because nobody even responds or anything to it. Not that I'm looking for likes or anything. It'd be nice if people are seeing it. But again, I can't. That's in God's hands there too. So, and I'm no better. It's only God's grace that's helping me see what I can. I don't think any of us could see the full picture. I don't think any of us. We just know that we are living in a biblical world, and things are moving quick. So anyhow, there's that, and but yeah, isn't that something? Raped his 3-year-old daughter, paid less than $5,000, no jail time, went to a high-end clinic. But that just shows you, that's just the one time he got caught. Good Lord knows what these people don't get caught for. I mean, look at the Franklin cover-up. Nobody knows about that. Just people like us who are truth seekers. That's hard stuff to look into, the SRA and the satanic ritual abuse. That's really hard. It does do something to your spirit after a while. It really does. It's kind of like, all right, after you know it, then I don't need to look at it right now. It's like seeing a terrible, terrible car accident, and you just have that feeling all day. Just well, and you feel powerless. You know, I mean, you got to do something to help these people. So you share. That's all you know how to do is try to help other people see. I don't know. You can't just do nothing. These children are coming forward. They're saying, "Hey, man, this is happening." Oh, I don't want to. That'll mess up my serenity to look into that. That's how people are. Like I'm a drag to people because I speak the truth, and the truth, it ain't too serene, man. It ain't too serene, you know. Um, but I don't know, guys. We just keep going, right? We just keep going. Well, I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, we're getting a little bit of snow here. I'm in the Sierra foothills, so I can't pull everything out today. And I'll show you guys a bug out setup. And if it comes to that, who knows? I do recommend a quality backpack. I have a early 2000s, late 90s backpack garage sale special, you know. It's a backpack, but boy, if you get a good modern one, man, especially if you're going to be doing walking. But I have duffel bags too, so a couple duffel bags and a backpack. You know, if it comes to that, who knows? There's really no reason to worry about because whatever happens, happens. I'm in real bad fire country, so I basically keep it for that because, you know, again, I'm in a motorhome. If that thing burns down, I have have all my gear, you know. All right, y'all. Love you guys, and I don't know. Maybe I'll try to put something together. All right, man.